To build anything that truly lasts, it takes time.
The APE was slightly below the estimate but grew by 12.5% on YY basis, whereas VNB and VNB margin below the estimates. VNB margin was range bound at 25.1% on YY basis, and the management expecting the growth in H2 to outpace the H1. However, for full FY26, the growth is likely to come below the FY25 levels. The next is from the ICICI Lombard Insurance. The results were mixed. The gross return premium were below the estimates but grew by 2% on YY basis, but whereas net earned premium were above estimates and as well as the PAT. The PAT were above the estimates due to the strong investment income, but the combined ratio lagged behind the estimates. The management said for the FY26, the growth to be led by the commercial and retail health segments. The next is from the Bajaj Finserv. The IRD has accorded its approval to both the aforesaid insurance subsidiary for transfer of equity shares held by Allianz SE, representing 26% of their paid-up capital, to the company Bajaj Holding and Investments and the Jamna Lal Sons Private Limited. And the next is from the news for the general stocks, insurance stocks. The IRDAI approves the norms for the rural social sector and the motor third-party obligation for FY26 and FY27.
Right, and Sharad, what are the stocks on your radar?
Supportive news coming in for Brigade Enterprises as its flexible workspace arm Buzzworks has announced its latest center at Business Park at High Tech City, Hyderabad, spanning over 50,000 square feet. Up next is Adani Wilmar's agribusiness Q1 update, a strong update coming in with the highest ever Q1 revenue coming in at roughly 17,059 crore rupees, which is a jump of almost 21%. The growth has been mainly driven by the edible oil business, which grew at 26% on a year-on-year basis, and the management also stated that the raw material prices have corrected by over 10% in the last 3 odd months. Also, auto stocks would be in focus, especially in the EV segment such as TVS Motor, Bajaj Auto, as government sources to ET now suggest that they are signing rare earths related partnerships, and now that has become India's active FTA strategy. Now, India is in talks with signing agreements with Chile, Peru, and also with Japan, Korea for rare earth processing technologies.
Okay, Sharad, thanks for that. And Varun, lastly, let's come to you. Give us a sense of which stocks you think could be in the spotlight today.
So let me start with Zydus Life, because the company has received a final US FDA approval for one of the anti-inflammatory drug, that is Silicobsib, and the annual sales in the United States for this drug in the previous year was around $122.6 billion. So keep an eye on Zydus Life. Keep an eye on Dixon Tech also, because the company has, entered into a binding term sheet agreement with Kunshan Q Tech Micro Electronics and its shareholder for the acquisition of around 51% stake in Q Tech India, and also the company has signed a binding term sheet with Chongqing Yuhai Precision Manufacturing Company, that's a Chinese company, to form a joint venture of around 71 to 21% ownership ratio, and the JV will focus on the manufacturing of precision components of laptop, mobile phones and automotives and also other products. Also keep an eye on Biocon, because Biocon Biologics, they have expanded the diabetes portfolio with US FDA approval for Kirsty, which is the first and only interchangeable rapid action insulin aspart in the United States, and for Novolog, the overall sales in the United States was around $1.2 billion for calendar year 2025. So keep an eye on Biocon as well, because this is a big update coming for Biocon.
Okay, lots of stocks on our radar this morning. But Chandan, let's pick up on HDFC Life first. The fact that the